The first time I was called a psycho was in school by a boy who I asked to behave. And this is one of those boys who got too pretty too soon, have chisel jaws, and they think that they rule the world. I actually told them that their behavior is problematic, and they called me a psycho. And later on, when I discovered the good side of internet, I realized that I'm not the only woman who have been called psycho for speaking up. And every woman throughout their lives have been said that they are too much, they're too psychotic for being bold and opinionated and for taking up space. Now, why is this story important? When you are understanding how the law of assumption works, you are essentially thinking about your assumptions. And in conscious manifestation, all you need to do is be psychotic about your assumptions. In other words, you need to be so delusional that people call you, crazy, psychotic, that people come and tell you, who do you think you are? So, this video is about a success story that I received last week, but I deleted it because I intuitively felt that the video that I had posted, it did not have the essence of what we are doing here, and that is the powerful, the delightful reality that we are collectively making. So I was like, let's give it a re-upload and really talk about the power, the psyche that lies behind all of these success stories. So now imagine that you are jobless, that you are unemployed, and you see everyone around you sort of being successful in their lives, depending on what success means to them. And you come from a family where they have a certain set of expectations of you. Now imagine that your father is a government officer, and there is, of course, an unspoken expectation of you that you are also going to pursue the same field. And you sort of try to convince yourself that, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do what my parents expect of me, what my society expects of me. And then you come across job listings and you realize that you do not actually like what you see. And most of the times, the things that you want to do, you do not have the skill set for. And then you realize that how am I going to be ever useful in my own life? And that is when you come across manifestation. So we always come across manifestation whenever we are in a crisis. And whatever they are still telling you in the manifestation community, despite the honesty of it, that you need to have alignment and frequency and positivity, is still a set of lies being sold. And on top of that, you have society giving you this beautifully wrapped gift called the set of rules that you need to follow in order to survive this little thing called life. And in between these two existing worlds, there is you, and there is this burning sense of awareness that tells you, I do not resonate with both of these philosophies because I believe that there is something bigger and I can't identify what exactly that is, but I am meant for it. And that is how my subscribers find me. That is how my clients find me. And that is how I found myself in this life and eventually adopted the law of assumption, not as something that I am learning, but as a way of life, as a lifestyle, and most importantly, as the truth that I'm going to hold on to till the end of my life. Now, today's video is about a success story that I received from a subscriber who came to me when she had all of these circumstances going on. Her father expected her to do what he has been doing, and she wanted to do something else, but she did not audaciously accept what she want because we are so scared of wanting what we want because half of the times we are carrying the expectations and the burdens of the world we don't even interact with that much, to be honest. So when someone comes to me for an affirmation or for advice of a course, I only tell them one sentence, and I ask them to actually embody that sentence as a personal rebranding. So if you used to call yourself that I am a student till you got a job. And then when you got a job, you started telling yourself an employee. An affirmation should actually work as a rebrand. So if you have been telling yourself that I need to have a certain set of skills or I need to be a certain way to be accepted in the society, an affirmation would be like, I am loved exactly the way I am. I have support. I can take up space. And my people always find me. And I am never too much. I am never too much for wanting what I want. And what I want exists especially for me. That is a rebrand. That is not a bunch of affirmations that you keep on repeating robotically through gritted teeth, gulping down affirmations all the time. And then you worry about the number, whether I have done it 10K times, whether I have done it correctly, whether I have done it in present tense or past tense. All of that doesn't matter if you understand that you are just rebranding yourself in your own life. So, when my subscriber asked me, I do not have a specific goal in my mind, but I know that I am not meant to live in these boxes. What should I do? I know the fact that I want to do a job. I know that. But I don't know in which field I want to go. I don't know how much money should I expect. But I like expensive things. We all do. So, what should my brand positioning be in my own life? How should I identify myself, in my own life? And I told her one thing: you need to have conviction. And you need to have that conviction through this repetition of one truth. And the truth is, I have, in her case, it was her job. So I have the job that I want, and it is better than I ever imagined. Now, don't look at this as a sentence that you need to repeat as an affirmation, as a technique. Look at this as a truth. Now, when I say look at this as a truth, what do I mean? When you have conviction, it is actually the opposite of expectation. Because so far, whatever your expectations are from life are a result of your limiting beliefs that come from your experiences, and your experiences come from that version of you who was playing small. So when you are rebranding yourself through conviction, you are now believing that, okay, this is bullshit. Now I can expand a bit. Now I can step out of this nonsense that I've been asked to follow. And I can actually be the exception. I can actually be the example. There is so much freedom in conviction. And the moment you embrace that freedom, that becomes your truth. So, conviction is exactly the opposite of expectation because you are not anymore seeking validation from your reality and you are free, and then you become your most powerful self. So, you do not need to feel all positive to step into that level of power. You only need to have that silent peace, that silent confirmation within yourself. The thing about conviction is that it is not hope. Hope is thinking that, oh, one day I'll be lucky, one day everything will be fine. And then getting distracted by life and saying, okay, not everyone is so lucky. And then again feeling like, oh, I need to have a little faith. No, that is just staying in a loop of normal people experiences and thinking, oh, one day something will happen. One day I'll be chosen by God. That is faith. Conviction is choosing this very moment now to actually tell yourself that I am not waiting for any particular day to make me feel lucky. I am lucky right now because I am deciding that for myself right now and persisting in that identity. So if you're asking yourself, how do I need to feel to manifest what I want? If you're asking yourself, how long do I have to wait to manifest what I want? You're asking yourself the wrong questions. Instead, you need to ask yourself, how am I going to perceive myself in my own life? How am I going to identify myself every day? Am I going to be the person who sticks by society's rules, who stays small because some other people, some bunch of logical lunatics told you that this is the set of rules that you need to follow to make a living, you know? Are you going to be that person who lives by other people's rules, who determines their own life philosophy through other people's experiences? Are you going to be that person? Or are you going to be that person who was called delusional for wanting what you want? But it never stopped that burning desire in your heart to crave for it, to actually believe that I don't see any physical proof of it right now, but I do have the silent awakening somewhere buried deep inside my mind and my body that this is for me. If you have that burning desire, if you have that silent knowledge within yourself, that is enough. And I know it is exhausting to fake a feeling and feel actually what you feel. But I want you to remind yourself during these moments of all the times you felt rage when people told you that you can't have what you have because you are too much. Your standards are too high. You're too picky. You're too lazy to settle for less. I want you to remind yourself of those moments of rage, those moments of feeling suffocated, and actually be, motivated by that. No, I'm not going to let myself be treated that way. And it will stop happening the day I draw the line. I draw the line between two identities. One that was conforming to those set of ideologies by other people, and one that is here, that is free from all of these rules, the one that is making her own rules. And that is what the subscriber did. She kept on telling herself she has the perfect job and it's better than she imagined. And even when, she updates me about some little office politics or whatever happening, she just kept telling herself, oh, these people do not exist in my reality. I still have the perfect job. I still feel excellent about it. And everything is great about it. People mend their ways around her. You know why that happens? because she does not look at affirmations as techniques. Like I said, affirmations are not a bunch of sentences or a bunch of thoughts. They are how you are essentially rebranding yourself, how you are perceiving yourself every day, how you're perceiving your own identity, how you wake up as a person. Do you wake up as a person who believes that, okay, today I'm going to be bullied at work? Or are you someone, whoever bullies me has no existence in my life anymore? They just disappear. That is how my reality works. That is how I bend reality. That is how conviction works, and that is how powerful conviction is. And that is what you need to be doing every day, especially when you see people telling you that this is not possible. You will be like, oh, I'm going to make it possible. I am going to make it a fact. I am going to be the reference. I am going to be the living example you talk about. I hope that helps. I teach here what your parents didn't. And today, I'm teaching you that you don't have to adjust to fit a reality. You don't have to compromise and adjust to have a life that is going to be forgiving towards you. You don't have to do any of that. You can want exactly what you want. What you want is meaningful. You do not have to shy away from how big your dream is. Only you believing in your dream is enough. You don't need anyone else to believe in your dream. Your power, your truth, your conviction is more than enough. Thank you so much for watching. If you want me to personally guide you in your manifestation journey, please check the description box below. All the details are there. And if you like this type of video, stay tuned. You know where to find me. We'll meet again.